Welcome back to part 38 of the C8 Corvette surface design uh, in Solidworks. Yeah, 38. Right. So in this tutorial, we're going to be stay working on the taillights and this tail light here. Then we're going to extrude some surfaces out of these gaps that we made, and then we're going to add some chamfers on them. Okay, so let's get to our model here where we were last time. And we continue on. And we will finish this. Well, we won't finish it today, but we will finish it. And then let's create these tail light bits inside. All right, so it's going to be LED, so we don't have to create any interior parts on this. We're just going to add some appearances on them once they finish. It's going to have an LED skin, right? So the whole thing will show up very nice on the rendering. I do all my rendering in Kshot. I'm not using Visualize because Kshot is a lot better. And if you don't have Kshot, even Blender is a better option for rendering. But Kshot, yeah, it's a million times better. Of course, you have a good PC as well, a good NVIDIA graphic cards. Right, so we want to create a plane. So I'm going to jump on the top here and motor profile. I'm going to make a line from here, somewhere in the midsection here, possibly. I want to pull out from there, from here. And yeah, so it's going to be pulling in a little bit. I'm going to make that line a little bit in here, so it will pull out somewhere there. All right, so keep that plane straight because we're going to be pulling out our surface straight. So we're going to pull out from here that direction. Okay, so let's add a plane on that construction line. So plane, the line first, and then the point. Okay, and once we have that plane, we're going to make a sketch on the plane. And of course, we're going to view here. And then we're going to make a few converted entities. So we're going to take these edges here and cut these edges. Of course, outside edges. And yeah, that's all the way around. And let's get these as well. We could have used existing sketch, but that might complicate things. So we're just gonna make some new converted lines here. So press OK here. And then we want the inner bits just to extrude. We're going to zoom away these sections here. It's already registered here very nicely. And then we want to trim this out here. And then this here. That one stays, and Well, first of all, let's do a Control Z, get some of the lines back instead. Okay, and okay, so let's do it one by one for each side because that will just complicate things for us. Let's trim all these out and we do it afterwards. There's a small edge here, possibly if we can get that one. No, it's not going to get that one, probably. All right, and yeah, we have these ones here, and I wanna zoom in here and make sure that we are connected. So once it's shaded, automatically, we know that we have a closed loop, and it's shaded in, so that indicates that we have a closed extrudable surface here. Okay, but first we need to add some we need to offset the sketch here. So the sketch and offset this whole sketches that we just made. Now there's that and 0.504, 0.3 possibly, and then 0.3 is gonna be better. So we want to be a bit smaller than the actual surface, so not coming out of the surface, right? So press OK here, and of course we want to trim out the side line, right? I get this small here. It's telling us that it's trying to tell us something. I will find out in a minute. So let's get rid of all of the outside line here. Let's get the triple, obviously. Let's get this line from here. A small piece. Oh, there's more. Alright, so let's go from here. Oh, it jumps up there for some reason. Okay, let's keep these lines instead of trimming the outside line. And let's come and zoom in here and see if we are connected. Seems like we are connected. Okay, let's try and do a surface extrude. From the inner sketch. Okay, and let's jump to the top here, and let's reverse pull. I'm going to pull it out to about here. Okay, I'm going to trim that off, obviously. That's a surface pull out, very nice for us. And then, of course, I want to jump onto the top plane. Sketch on that. And I want to convert some entities here. I want to convert this line here so I know where the edge of that surface is. That. So now we have some references to go. Alright, so we need to trim down a little bit from this surface. So let's grab a spline here. And I'm gonna go from the corner, obviously, and I'm gonna go all the way in that direction. And I'm going to give this a profile as well. Okay, and we can pull this possibly a little bit closer here. Something like that. I want to get the profile. Let's trim some of this down and see how it looks. Of course, I want to get all surfaces. Let's hold up with that trim, and then let's get rid of the first that we made for reference. All right, and let's go to surface and let's do a trim now. Okay, so get rid of the first sketch, obviously. Press OK. All right, so let's have a look at the headlight now. I mean tail light. Sorry about that. And that tail light looks good. Maybe we can trim down a little bit more. So let's go in and add sketch. Okay, click on that line and rid of this coincidence here. Let's come a little bit closer. About there. Pull this up to this point here. Okay, and exit and let's have a look. All right, so it looks a lot better now. And maybe we can get a little bit closer on this side. Edit sketch. Just a bit closer. Somewhere there. And let's and maybe we can get a little bit more close. Edit the sketch. Delete coincidence here. And just a tiny bit closer. And let's add a little bit more profile on that. The sketch, this should work. All right, so very nicely close to the edge now. So that looks good. All right. Okay, so next thing we want to do. We want to cap up this end. For that, we're going to use a fill surface. And then choose all these edges. And this last edge here. And that caps it up very nice. We're going to knit these two together. This extrude one and the capped one. Alright. And once we've done that, we can just jump into fill surface here. Choose one and see where it takes us. So one will give us a very nice chamfer on this design. So okay, and that's very beautiful. All right. Okay, so we just need to do the same thing. We just need to do the same thing on this side as well. So we're gonna make a sketch on plane 10. profile. Get into view on that. And we're going to convert some edges here. Again, this edge, and go all the way around. Well, not that we need it, but I'm going to press outline as well. Again, let's come out lines that we don't need. Okay, that looks good. And we're going to offset these as well to 0. Transfer reverse. Set entity. So let's try and do this here. Let's do 1. Maybe we might be open somewhere. Are we? Am I? Offset again. Choose the whole thing. Let's try 0.1, just do 0.1. Offset can give selected geometry. Alright, so it's telling me that so let's get into view here. Okay, and let's grab a line. Just make sure all the lines are connected here. So that probably will solve our problems. Okay, let's try to do that offset now. Reverse. No, that's not what we wanted. Alright, so offset. Let's try to select this whole thing. What is it doing now? Exit Control Z to get rid of that circle there. Alright, set and select this entities in here. Oh wow, what all that? Offset and this. Let's jump into here, the drop down here. And maybe we can catch that from here. Obviously not to 0.1. Maybe do it one by one. 0.3.
Doing? Klassiker most komoly.
All right. All right. So let's jump into this 3D sketch and delete that actually, and we're gonna do it. Delete. Okay. Let's jump into this plane. And let's do another conversion. These edges. Hopefully we're selecting all the edges, all the outside edges, obviously. And yeah, so make sure it's all closed up. Okay. And let's trim out what we don't need. Alright, so I'm trim this out, offset, and hopefully we'll do it this time. Reverse direction. And it did it this time without this one line. Alright, so it is 0.3, press OK. And we're just going to connect these two lines here. Alright, so let's have a line and then connect these two lines here. Something like this. And then let's trim out all the lines. Or let's just trim out this line here. If we could. Let's get into view. Alright, so let's trim this out. Oh, obviously. That's it. That's it. It did it this time. And then let's just double check if we are all connected all over the place. Alright, looks good. And let's try Extrude. Of course, this looks good to me. And let's reverse the direction. Get into view on the top plane. That's my electronic thing. All right, so okay. All right, and then now we just need to trim that. All right, but before we do that, I'm going to convert this line here so we have a reference line here. So make on the top plane convert entities, and I'm going to convert this edge here. Okay, press O, and now we have a line here to work with. Jump into the top. So that's the line we are going after, right? So let's grab this spline again, and obviously somewhere here we want that to stick out a little bit, and I'm going to pull it all the way here, and let's give the guy a nice profile. All right, something parallel with that one. So let's line out. Okay, let's trim surface and get rid of this. Okay, let's have a look at our surface, and that looks very good. Okay, that looks beautiful. It's sticking out exactly how much we want it to stick out. However, we can come in a little bit further here. So we're going to do that, the sketch, and then we're going to jump back to the top plane and just come down a little bit with this one to about there, and give this a little bit of profile here. Let's exit that sketch, right? And okay, so again, all that looks a lot better. Looks exactly like this one, and it sticks out a perfect amount from that second bracket, right? Okay, so let's cap up this end. Using these edges here. Cap that up. And then let's knit them together with the extruded surface. And our fillet. Let's try one. And one will do it. Okay. And that created our second tail light. Alright. So that will look good in a minute. So we just need to now create the brake lights and the reverse light. Okay, so that's going to be relatively easy. So the top section is going to be the reverse lights, I suppose, and the lower one is going to be the brake lights. So let's work on the top section first. Okay. So if we make a sketch on that surface itself, we could, or not. So that's edit sketch. So edit feature. Let's go to sketches, sketch, and select the face. I won't be able to select that face. Okay. So for that reason, I'm going to jump to view and see if we can do it from this angle. All right, I just got an email that introduction to Windows 11. Okay, so soon I'm gonna have Windows 11. Wow, maybe not yet. Anyways, okay, so yeah, so we want to build this what was it? Reverse lights. So I'm gonna click on that and view. And we are falling into here a little bit. So that's how we're going to do it. All right, so let's make a sketch. Make a sketch on the right plane. And I'm going to convert, instead of converting anything, let's grab lines here and just simply down here and then come up to this point here. I want to be straight with everything here and leave a little bit of gap. Make this line here as well. We might as well build both. But we try. I'll come up to this point. And I want to offset this line here. And I want that by direction. So it creates a nice space between each other. Press OK. I'm going to snip out the inside line. I'm going to try to connect points with that one here. Okay, and snip out the interiors. All right, and obviously I'm going to trim out the insides. Trim those out. Okay. And once I trim those sections out, what I'm going to do is grab a spline. So I want 3D line. And I'm going to grab it from this point. And believe it or not, I'm going to give this line a profile. And pull down a little bit. So we'll have a profile on that as well. Okay, so now I'm going to hit the sketch and let a fill surface on this bracket that we just out, and constraint curves the curve that we just made. So that will give the surface a little bit of curvature, obviously. So same thing I'm going to do on the lower section. 3D spline. And get into view from. Okay, try to pull up a little bit. Give this a profile. And let's give this guy a surface as well. Okay. Surface, select the and for constraint curve, let's select the that we just made. And that surface, nice. It's not much visible from this angle. Will show up very nicely on the on our, what is it called, the rendering, of course. Try to get rid of the pink line here. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to you when I get rid of the pink line. All right, so in case you wonder how I got rid of the pink line, it's a common fact in Solid. I just saved them all that and I exited and restarted the program. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on this side, on this area here. So it's going to be a map or create a sketch on the right, and of course we should be in this direction, in like this, because if you do it on the right plane, obviously we won't see much. So in this sketch and let's try to add that sketch on plane 10 that we created, and then press normal well and see exit sketch. So sketch on plane 10 normal profile, and it's still straight, so we want to add an we want to another plane, because we were able to look into this one nicely. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Okay, so let's make that on the right plane, and then okay, so that's our line basically. It's here, right? Not here. So we really want to be in this view. So try to add these lines. Let's try, and then we're gonna have to make that. We got to make that plane. I mean, maybe we have to make that plane. So let's explain, and we're gonna have to make it no matter. Okay, so let's that line and then add a little bit of angle on that, and then add that plane on that construction line. Okay, so let's have a look from this plane. Okay, so let's move that plane a little bit more that way. So let's jump to the top here and let's move this plane. Well, of course, we have to exit the sketch, so we can move it a little bit this way. And let's have a look now. Okay, just a little bit more, just a tiny bit more. It's almost asking for straight button. All right, so let's a little bit this way. Okay, maybe this one will sketch. As you can see, we can move planes around as easy. There you go. So that's what we were looking for. Maybe we need to move. Oh, it's fine. We're gonna work with this one. All right. So let's grab that line. Let's grab that line and make that sketch down to here. And then after this line here, come up to here, and then connect this line. All right, let's get into view with this one, back into view, and then another line to connect this point, and again we're going to offset this point here, and we're going to bidirection try 1 or 0.5 0.3 0.3. That's a lot better. And then I'm just going to snip out the interiors. Okay, Let's trim out here as well, but before we trim, to extend it's connecting to these edges. Let's make these lines straighter. Let's now Control Z and then grab that. Take this one out. Okay, this as well. Let me come down here and then okay. Alright, my TVs keep turning on and off. Alright, so let me zoom in here and get rid of this. There you go. Alright, so let's connect these lines now. And then these ones as well. And let's take the inner one out. Alright. That's highlighted, so it's indicating to us is good. We can do this a little bit here. Closer so it gets out a little bit less. Pull that up here. That looks good. And surface and then surface. We're going to trim out this one interior on the side. Okay, that's good. And then we're gonna do the same thing here as well. Okay, good. And then of course 3D sketch spline, and we want to be on this cut edge that we just cut out. So on here, and let's get a profile. Put it down here. And then just fill surface. Make sure that all the edges are visible. Let's get into that view. All right. And then surfaces, exit this sketch. Surface. And then let's try to grab this edge. And for point curve, our curvature. Did you not select some? Oh, there you go, this small piece down here. That's it. Clear the delete the clear selections from there. Add this small line up to there, and constraint curve is going to be this here. Okay, so let's create a depth surface there, and the same thing on the lower part. So 3 sketch, 3 spline, and then we want to put that edge there, and this edge here. And let's keep the profile from the side. Just pull that up about there. And exit sketch. And let's get into view so we can see all our edges. Surfaces, not though, fill surface. And then select these edges here. So we're gonna have a small piece up here, this corner, me. You might, and then this edge here. And the constraint curve. All right, that's beautiful. Let's create a DAP for us. Great. All right. Okay, so we're going to leave this tutorial here because we created our taillights. What I'm going to do is grab this apparent. I'm going to put this apparent. I'm going to add it to the whole car. Paste apparent here, and then I want to add some apparences. Let's go to light, to LED, and want to make these bodies that we just created here red. Copy this appearance and add it to this one to make to just this how it looks. To this one here. All right, and then of course the lower section here is going to be the upper section is going to be white LED. Let's tube and let's go to white on the top one. Copy apparent and then apparent, and let's make the lower section red too. So on the reverse lights. Parents, and I'm just going to do our appearances here. I'm going to edit our tube, which is going to be the reverse light, and I want to make it darker. So let's go to advanced illumination and diffuse amount. Let's bring that down. Well, it's not doing much. Yeah. Reflection amount, transparency, luminosity, color and image. It's darker this way. Or we can try different colors on them, but I realize it. Let's try and add low class. Let's try that. Okay, so that looks a lot better. Based appearance, of course, in the when we do the rendering, it's going to be a light. But for now, I'm just gonna make it just so I can see how it looks. High glass. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it white for now. All right, so that looks good. And guys, thank you very much for being with me on this tutorial. And then you created the tail lights like just like me. And you know, and see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.